Well, hey, Modern Jeepers, welcome to episode number 161 of the ModernJeeper Show. So we're out here in Moab, and this is it's been pretty cool.
It was a great day today. It's the beginning of the week. We haven't really got into the vendor side of Easter Jeep Safari yet, but we've been running the CTI trailer for a couple of days now. Lots of people in town, lots of trails going on. And it was a good day today. We had Chris Collard join us.
Absolutely. So we had a chance with Chris to first start out in the diner. So when you're listening to this episode or watching this episode, however you seem to be partaking in the podcast, there's a lot of audio because we were in a diner and you hear a lot of people. It was a very busy diner. So just bear through that. But if you are listening to this instead of watching, I highly recommend you go over to the YouTube video. Because when we're talking about the video, we're talking about the rigs.
We're talking about a lot of the concept vehicles. This podcast is going to be very visually intensive. So,
True.
So if you get a chance, you're listening to us in your car. When you get home, get wherever you're headed, check out the video because it'll make a lot more sense. And there's really some cool stuff to see.
There is some cool stuff. You know, one of these days we'll be cool enough to have the podcast that actually has the video tied to it. But I think you have to get 1 million followers, or
we're working on that million.
Joe Rogan or something for that to happen.
Yeah, we're working on that million, and it's thanks to all of you guys.
It starts with each one of you.
Yeah.
Share, subscribe, let your friends know about it. But yeah,
right.
So hey, enjoy the episode, and thanks to all of our sponsors, including Bestop, Warren,
Milestar,
Rugged Radios. What's that?
Say Raceline.
Raceline, yes.
Raceline,
our cameraman.
It's been a long day. This is the end of the day, so
I need to go look at the side of your rig.
Yeah, right. Where's the stickers at?
Raceline, and of course, Adventure Rack Systems and Metalcloak. So sit back, relax with the cold one, and enjoy this episode number 161 of the ModernJeeper
Show. The ModernJeeper Show, the show about Jeeps, Jeeping, and Jeepers.
Well, hey, Modern Jeepers, is another episode of the ModernJeeper Show with me, Matson from Metalcloak, and Mr. Modern Jeeper, Corey Osborne. How you doing, man?
Good.
Hey, and Rockstar Jeep Girl Jessy.
Hi.
We got some other people around here. We'll have to introduce them when we get up and start walking around. Including our buddy Chris Collard. Can you lean in real quick? Just say hi.
Hey, guys.
We are at...
It died.
No, it's just the screen is off.
The screen's off. Okay. So see, we're doing this a little bit. This is like the technical side of it because we're highly technical people, right?
Right.
We're Jeepers. Well, here we're at Moab Diner. Now, can you actually do a little pan with the camera? Kind of show everybody around.
There you go.
Yeah, pan around. So this is the Moab Diner. This is the iconic place to have breakfast.
Ice cream. You've had lunch here before.
Yeah.
Breakfast. It's just for breakfast.
Yeah.
And it is definitely the ice cream place.
It is definitely the ice cream place.
I almost had ice cream for breakfast, but they talked me out of it. They said I wouldn't
The other
perform
night,
too well.
we actually came over here. It was about 8:30, and there was a line outside, about 20 people deep for ice cream at 8:30 at night.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And the cool thing, like I think you just saw a little bit of the table over there. The tables every year are done up in for different companies, and so we're actually sitting at the Metalcloak table. Next to us is the Adventure Rack Systems table, and it's also very active here. So there are lots of noise, lots of people. But it was a good breakfast. What do you have?
Oh, the food's always great. I actually had the banana pancakes today.
That looks good.
It was good. It's always so much food.
You look like whole wheat pancakes. Or you be trying to be healthy this morning?
Well, usually it's the chorizo burrito. I've had that like twice this week already. I needed a break.
Yeah, that sounds hard for breakfast. You guys have been here since like
Last Thursday.
Right.
Yeah, almost a week now.
Because Rockstar Jeep Girl had a birthday on Sunday.
I did.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Was it a good party time?
Well, we partied on the trail, if that counts. We did Cliffhanger, which was one of my trails I've been wanting to do for a while. And I rocked it.
Yeah.
I was pretty proud of myself.
That's awesome.
You did good. You did very good, for sure.
Yeah, nice. So how many trails have you hit since you've been here?
Just a couple. We did some pre-running for what will be maybe some of the trails we'll see this year, Modern Jeepers Adventure. So Cliffhanger was last week. We did some Wipeout 7-mile 3D kind of combination exploring.
7-mile 3D what?
Yeah, a little bit of that whole 7-mile area. There's a bunch of trails out there that are 30 miles, but the scenery is just awesome. So we did some of that, and then where else did we go? Oh, we went out to we did King Creek.
Yeah.
Hamburger. That was pretty nice.
Yeah, did King Creek. Just the two of us went out by ourselves last week, and then went up just partway to. We went up top of Hural Pass, which is up about a quarter of Chicken Corners Trail.
You get rid of the wind, it was beautiful.
Well,
with the wind, it was
and
kinda like,
I took my own group up to the top of the
that's
world.
right. See?
I did.
You did. You went on your own.
I did.
Yeah, that's awesome. Who was in the group?
I had David Schumacher from Full Throttle Battery. I also took Alex Gomez from Zona Overland, as well as Jenny and Mike from Wisconsin from Badgerland 4x4. So we went up there and spent about 3 hours and shot back down. It was a good day.
Did everybody take the shot?
Oh yeah.
Everybody did the photo?
Oh yeah.
So top of the world, that's the iconic photo you see where the vehicle's sitting out there on the edge of a big rock cliff. And if you're a fan at all of like Roadrunner, you don't like that because you know that's the cliff that always cuts off and falls down on top of the Coyote.
Yes.
But so that was nice. Huh?
Yeah, it was good.
It's been a busy week so far. We ran the CTI trailer yesterday, was the first day. Of course, we'll be out there again all day today, Thursday, and Friday. The weather's supposed to be a little chilly. We've had snow. We've had just a mixture. It was super hot 5 days ago, 80 degrees, and then today our high is supposed to be like 47.
Yeah. Well, I was out setting up at the arena this morning at 7 a.m. Got all the paperwork in, threw my stuff in there, and it was 27 degrees.
Oh.
I didn't realize it was 27 degrees, and I grabbed the stakes for the flag, and I'm like, my hands are freezing, and I put it and tried to pound it into the ground. The ground is frozen. I threw them on the ground. I said, here, we're good. We'll come back later. We'll warm up a little bit. Yeah, it was bad.
It's been pretty cold.
Well, we've got kind of a pretty special guy that's actually had breakfast with us this morning. He's been out here longer than Jesse and I have. He's been out here for almost a couple of weeks and working with some of the concepts, working with Jeep. You've probably already seen some of the pictures, some of the stuff he's shot of some of the concepts. So it's we're going to go across the street here in a minute, but we've got Mr. Chris Collard with us this morning.
All right, looks like I should squeeze in on this conversation. I was just enjoying thinking about all the great breakfasts we've had at Moab Diner.
Right? Yeah.
One of my favorite places. Yeah.
It is good. Now, if you try, there's a place across the street. It's pretty good. If you like the Beatles, it's actually really nice because it's Beatles steak. It's a waffles and steak and waffles.
Steak and waffles. Steak.
Which I've had both there. Actually, it was pretty good. But the iconic location for here. Now, if you don't do here, you don't do Moab Diner. There's also the Jailhouse.
Jailhouse is good.
You know, our buddy Scott Becker had pulled me into the Jailhouse because they have the Loganberry pancakes.
Yeah.
And that's like the one goal. Have Loganberry pancakes at least once during the trip. So that place is pretty good. But this is an icon. And definitely one of the biggest supporters of the OHV community.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And they have been for years, for decades.
For a long time. Yeah.
Beside the tables, they've always super supported the whole OHV community and OHV use in Moab. It's a big deal.
It is a big deal, and you know it's kind of funny. It's evolved. Some of these places have changed hands over the years, and they're no longer fans of the motorized use folks.
Right. Well, let's call them out. I mean, the Moab Brewery used to be the place you would always go. As soon as you got off the trail, you went there, you got onion rings and beer. And then new ownership is not interested in OHV.
No, and actually the management team there, their servers and whatnot, all went over to what used to be Eddie McStiff's. Now it's Dewey's, and they've done a phenomenal job. They have great food, great beer.
Great onion rings.
Great onion rings.
Yep.
Yeah.
They taste the same.
Yeah, when the brewery took the Dan Mix Jeep off the wall, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, really? They just I was like, what happened?
Yeah.
New owners.
Yeah.
I've not been back since.
Yeah, it's always interesting to me because you start to cater to, I live over in western Colorado, and Uray kind of does the same thing. They cater to the mountain biker and the climber, and you know what? They don't tend to spend a lot of money. The motorized folks tend to spend a lot more money. You would think some of these communities would kind of go, hey, wait a second, maybe we ought to not just shun the Jeeps anymore. But I get it. To each their own.
But this is just how this town is changing. We've seen it change. I mean, you guys have been here much longer than I ever have. And over the years, from being mainly a place where you went camping and you had a couple of little hotels, and mostly brought your RV or whatever, to now where there's just hotel after hotel after hotel, charging,
$300, $400, $500 a night.
The little place we stayed Sunday night, the Rustic Inn, great little place. They did a great job, and it was only $180 a night. And that was like cheap. However, when I was talking to them, they go, yeah, it's peak season, or it's whatever, $180 a night. Usually it's $49.
Right.
Wow.
Like, that's a big difference, but
we stayed at the Best Western, and it was $340 a night. So yeah. And then, of course, you just go up from there, right? You go over to the Hoodoo, and it's $600 a night.
Right. Isn't there some places like $1,200? We were talking about the other night, like $50.
Well, there's some places on the outskirts of town, out towards the river, the Sorrel, places like that.
Yeah.
A little higher.
So we're talking about going back years. You used to just be able to go up King Creek, camp anywhere you want, go across the river before they put the park in, across the bridge, and turn up river, and that whole area was just an open field.
Open
you could
field.
just
Right.
go in there and camp.
And now that's all closed, and it's different. It's different.
So now you got all the old guard here. We're complaining about the new ones.
So now, you've been around a lot of ways. We were driving down from King Creek against the cliff wall. There's all these little shanties and dugouts and houses. What's the deal with that? Is it you know any backstory there?
To me, it's kind of like Cooper PD, Australia, where it's very hot certain times of the year, and the miners and everybody would take advantage not only for storing stuff in these dugouts where they bore
Temperature
tunnels.
controlled.
Yes, but they'd also end up turning them into houses. So you can see one of them actually still has the house
big
there.
house
The others
space.
heated off as storage. But
People live there, or are they just like old?
I don't know. I've never seen anybody come out of there.
Right.
It looks like a house.
They're used to. I mean, there would always be a car out in front usually, and whether he uses it now for storage, I'm not sure. There's a number of those little places though, all throughout the Canyonlands area where. They're all sealed off. There'll be a front door, windows, temperature controlled.
Yeah.
But it's not a new thing. The Native American Indians were doing that centuries ago. They were driving in dugouts. You would see there's little stone walls for the entries. Your boat will come in.
I want to know how they chose. Who gets the cave?
I don't know.
Because I don't want to stand out.
Seniority
in the sun.
thing.
Yeah.
You mentioned King Springs Road. If you follow that out towards the Raw Pass turnout, on one of those bends there's a pipe coming out of the side of the mountain.
Yes.
You've noticed that. It's a natural spring. And that used to be the place to fill up your water jugs. Everybody would stop, fill up their water jugs, coming in or out of town. Beautiful, clear mountain rock, fresh.
Perfect. Yeah, there you go. You start filling your water jugs. Go sell them on the street corner.
New business.
Right. So you got to spend some time with some of the concepts.
I did.
What are your thoughts?
Very fortunate. Yeah. So I came in actually 10 days ago.
Okay.
We spend basically a week photographing them and doing video. And the program's been going on since 2007, 2008.
Yeah.
And this year, with Jeep's new push, and you might have saw last year, a lot of media stuff going on about the electrification of the brand. So with their concepts, they're also really pushing the 4xe, the Grand Cherokee, the Gladiator, all of them are, not all of the concepts, but basically the majority of them have some type of electrification. Interesting. But they got some cool stuff. They got one that's called Jeep 41, and that is kind of like it's kind of like, if you remember Sarge, which was a J8 back in the day. Just paying tribute to Jeep's roots. It's got OD green. It's got the desert sand canvas seats.
Cool.
There's one with a little Rodney Dangerfield humor in it. And so they got some fun cars this year.
Favorite?
Do I have a favorite? I really like Bob. Yeah, Bob was basically, it's called Bob because they bob the bed. It's a Gladiator, and it's awesome. It's got Dynatrack 60 in the front and 80 in the back. And
we were looking at
that one runs a diesel.
Oh, it's a diesel.
Yes, keep a diesel in it. And then the other really super cool one, you guys are gonna love this one, is their 20th anniversary Rubicon. So if you all remember, the Rubicon came out, the Rubicon model came out 20 years ago. And so they've done a tribute card to that. It's got a 392 in it. It's got some really super cool graphics, steel bumpers, winch, all the stuff you can get for
nice.
For Rubicon.
Nice.
So there's some great cars out there.
That's cool. I a number of years ago, I fell in love with Stitch back in the day. It was super lightweight, everything was gutted out of it. And it's really neat. The team has done such a good job over the years of trying to stay. They always add a little bit of what we may see in a future model, yet instead of it being a full-blown concept like we're never going to build this, well, there's a little bit of that rollover all the time.
There is. And that's kind of the exciting thing, is that sometimes they'll come out and you're working with Mark Allen and the designers and the guys on the show. We're going to see this, Rubicon 20th. We're going to see this in production. And I don't know.
We're just here.
This is just a concept that we're having fun.
Right.
And sometimes you see those concepts that really are like full-on futuristic concept testing ideas, and then they've had a few. There's been a couple of years where they were just kind of like, well, they just take it, painted it a little differently, and had it a little bit more interior. So you get that all different variation of what they decide to spend money on or what Mopar's willing to play with.
True, but you look back. You got 13, 14 years or 15 years of concepts, and they got 6 or 7 every year. So it's like some of your favorites talking about Stitch.
Right.
Remember lower 40?
Oh yeah, lower 40 was awesome.
Yeah.
What a, and again, it was like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. Sure you can. With enough creativity and enough money.
So what happens to all the concepts? Like, do they store it in a warehouse someplace, or do they end up in people's hands?
A lot. They don't end up in private hands. Yeah, they're all usually, some of them are non-bin type numbers mules, they call them, so they are kept or they're crushed. We remember Overland JK was when they came out in 2008. It was one of their first ones.
Yep.
I had that vehicle for a month or so and did the Mexican border to Canadian border, right? Border.
Yep.
With that vehicle, Scott Brown finally called me. He's like, we need it back. They crushed it.
Oh man. Yeah. So many. Yeah. You're exactly. And, some of the times they roll stuff out, and sometimes they have to be rolled out because they may not be complete working type vehicles. But typically the ones that they bring out for this show are pretty good indication of what our future
might look like. Like the Mighty FC.
Mighty FC. What a. I remember
I don't think we'll ever see that one.
No, I remember when Craig brought that out. I spent some time with that vehicle in San Paulo before San Paulo was kind of a thing. And what a neat ride. All of them. Magneto 2.0.
I drove that yesterday.
0 to 60 in 2 seconds. You think that's about accurate?
Yeah.
I have no idea. We didn't have enough real estate to get good that fast, but I can tell you that at like 0 RPM, you've got 100% torque, like the motor.
Right.
I just, I was riding with Jim Morrison actually, and I was like, I'm gonna get a little bit. He's like, all right, and it's got an 88 in the back.
Right.
Pro Rock 88. And it's like, I just touched a little bit. It just like, it jumped.
It just goes.
It's neck snapping.
That's
torque.
cool.
It's my favorite. I want it.
Cool. Yeah, they did a JOB on that one.
Yeah.
So they've got, you asked about the old concepts, they've got, usually, I haven't been down there yet, but they usually have a bunch of the old concept vehicles at the show at Walker Truck.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, we'll have to take a walk over across the street and see what we can
fun.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's go do that. Welcome to beautiful Moab.
Yeah, actually the sun's out, but it's still not warm.
No.
It's probably only, I don't know, 40,
How many layers
42,
you wearing?
43 degrees.
I've got
Long
like-
sleeve shirt, sweatshirt, you know, all the stuff.
I got 4 on. I'm good.
And you can see kind of that's where we're headed. Right in front of Walker Drug is where they typically do the concept vehicles. Lots of Jeep traffic.
Wow, okay, so we're over here. This is the Jeep concept. Now, I remember last year we were out here and we gave this thing behind you
That's right.
a really hard time.
We did.
And it's been a year, and
It's still
sometimes things grow on you, but it's still hideous. I'm sorry, Jeep. I still don't like this. Like,
You know,
you could've done
it's
so
a bunch
much
of
more.
solar panels, and it's better than killing a dinosaur's already dead.
Well, see, if you,
Again, things grow on you. This is something that doesn't look so bad. A year ago, we all thought, "Oh my gosh, what is that?" But now look.
well, if you pan over here, you see over in the corner of Walker's, actually next to the Express Grocery, there's another one of these charging stations, right? And looks like a permanent station.
Yes.
Now that station looks fine because it's they're not trying to add so much embellishment to it.
Right.
But that station's fine. I don't know, the embellishment they put on this made it seem more like it was a marketing fluff than it was a real charging station.
But you know what? There's 2 rigs plugged into it right now. There's no other power coming to it, and it's just the solar panels. So, okay.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, the 4xe is definitely. Didn't you see recently that Jeep claims that the 4xe is like the #1 selling? Now, so no one's selling plug-in hybrid in North America.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 8,000 units sold in the.
That's right.
Is that first quarter numbers?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. They have what? They have the 4xe Wrangler, and then there's their 4xe.
That would be a question for Chris. I'm not really
Yeah,
sure.
Chris is here.
All right, dragging me
Come on
into
in.
it.
You're going to be about to get run over by a Wagoneer. The
Grand
100
Wagoneer.
The Grand Wagoneer, the 100,000 plus Grand Wagoneer.
Excuse me, folks. We'll be back in this
Oh,
hour.
sure, no problem.
So you asked about the 4xe. Yeah, so
Yes.
they've.
So what
they
else
just-
is on the has 4xe on?
Just launching the Grand Cherokee.
Grand Cherokee. Okay, so the 8,000 numbers is purely a Wrangler 4xe.
I couldn't confirm or deny that, but I've heard that.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
So you were talking about this
Yeah.
love or hate this. I love this thing. See, my vision of this is sitting on a beach in Baja, nothing else around, charging your electric vehicle, and you got palm fronds and a little thing like that around it.
Right.
And then it's like you got your charged up EV car or hybrid Wrangler.
The cool thing for them to do would be kind of like the guys that go and put the cell towers and they look like pine trees.
That's what I'm saying.
Like wherever
Yeah,
they
I mean,
go
see
around,
if
make it look like it fits into the landscape.
Beach pull-up. Lots of sun, full charge.
Yeah, there you go. But it also, what else? Now, does it have other accessories you can plug into it? You know, you can have your.
I don't believe so. It's got
Yeah.
specifically set up for the Jeep
For
charger.
the Jeep charging station. Well, look, there's a 4xe backing out now.
Which you wouldn't know it. You can't hear it.
Now you do guys know there's a little speaker. There's
a big speaker.
It's a
There's a big
speaker. It's about yay big, and we actually had to build a bracket to make sure that it mounted onto the tire carrier. But it's right behind that spare tire. There's a little speaker there. For some reason, the sound has to be. I think it has to do with parking garages or something. Some regulations require you have to have some sort of sound.
So you can yell at people?
No idea.
I don't know.
You know, it's weird driving the EV cars though, because I spent a week in Austin a couple weeks ago in a Grand Cherokee 4xe, and you know, when you start it up, and I'm bulldog, right? So I want a shifter, and like I hit the start button, and nothing's happening. And I'm like, it's quiet. I'm like, is it on? You got to look for the little light that says ready on the dash, little green light or blue light, or electric blue light.
Well, you know, it looks like we kept putting ourselves where they're trying to park these things. The
No.
392 just coming in.
Meandering.
Let's go back this way. Let's go take a look at some of these concepts. So
We didn't get very far. Yeah.
Yeah. Fans everywhere we go. We can't help it, you know. So it's so the concepts. Now we walked through here last year. We kind of had a chance. This is kind of a fun thing to be able to do, to go out and look at the concepts, see what our first reaction is. It's kind of like the reveal. That's what it is. This is Modern Jeeper reveal, right? But which one is this? What's this one called, Corey? You have any idea?
Birdcage.
No idea. Is it Hurricane?
Hurricane.
Yeah, Chris is our
Birdcage.
expert. That's why we brought him along.
That's right.
This is a Hurricane. Now, from this standpoint, I love concepts that actually are more, to me, more realistic, like the half doors and the. I love this tube back system here.
Yes, it is.
It's actually pretty nice.
Storage.
Yeah.
Storage back here.
Nice. Oh,
And we have the air, onboard airing table. That's
right. Jeep's own table. Nice little setup.
What's that? The reason that they call it Birdcage, well, a couple reasons. One, they're promoting their new rooftop rack, but there's no glass, so there's no windshield. So we drove it out at 5 o'clock in the morning the other morning. It's like goggles and gloves. It's like super cold. Yeah, you come in here, it's like there's nothing there, and if you look up, you know, no top, all the way across. It's like the super open air version of a a Wrangler.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. It's actually really fun to drive. It's got this, like, I don't know what they call it. It's like a tobacco brown upholstery. Yeah.
Beautiful leatherette.
Yeah.
It's nice. And if you can't really tell, but it's lower too, right? It's got a little bit. It seems like a little bit of a chop top.
You know, they just took the normal top off. I don't think so.
Okay, so it's just that that's the cage line that normally is set
So
up.
he still got the B-pillar. But I had to ask him, I'm like, okay, so you spent a lot of time when they developed the JL, you know, making sure that windshield would still fold down. And that's a Jeep thing, right? And made it a lot easier. And I was like, okay, so do we need a fold down windshield now that we don't have a windshield?
Right.
There's no glass. But you need, they don't have it. It's really cool Mad Max goggles that you needed to wear with this thing.
Right, I was going to say, you got to keep the bugs out of your eyes.
The paint tone.
We don't like the dust.
That's the fun thing is we were talking about being able to do this and build this stuff and have it do your job. Like, here, why don't you create a concept? Interesting fenders we're looking at. They're fiberglass, but they're tube. Still a big hit point here, but. And of course it's 4x8. Now that is slick. That is slick. So the reach axles and replacement grill. Full reinforcement here.
Maybe you actually was your elected way.
To make that all fit, they also modified the grills.
Yeah.
Custom grill.
I like it.
There's slots and room for that.
And we have some officially licensed
Wait.
merchandise down here.
That's not an official badge for Warren, is it? A Rubicon edition, or they just threw that sticker on there, you think?
Well, it's probably marketed through JPP parts,
Okay.
performance parts.
So you think they're selling a Warren Rubicon edition?
Yeah, probably like, kind of semi-private label, I guess.
That's kind of cool.
I did not notice that the other day.
You notice it has a Rubicon badging?
Yep, on the winch.
I have to ask Nell about that. That'd be cool to get a Rubicon edition. I like it.
For your choose for the zip code, that's going to give you a regional
How we doing, guys?
incentives and discounts. Thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Yeah,
it
it's
is
a lot
finally
nicer than
beautiful
yesterday.
and not windy
Right?
for the 56th annual Easter Jeep Safari here in Moab.
As you can see, it's a very busy day out here.
See, I want one of these.
What's one of what's?
The sunroof.
Oh,
A
yeah.
sunroof removable top.
Yes.
Right.
Need one of those. Okay, we already got one.
I know. That's the thing. Everybody here.
Right?
I don't know, see, I'm not sure personally.
Our customers wouldn't have a fun time with that top. I think it wouldn't clear their garages.
Right.
All right, now we're here to the Gladiator. Now this Gladiator, for everybody, like, we can show you a few of these QR codes, but it's basically tagged. Actually, I just realized something. You know these parts painted red? They stole that from us. The Metalcloak website. All our parts are red on the Metalcloak website. That's what they did. They made everything red that's for sale here. They put a QR code on it. They stole that from us.
Not a bad idea. Go straight to the Jeep catalog for every
Right.
single part.
Exactly. But everything on here that's red is tagged and available. Rock rail, the tube doors. It's kind of a cool rack system back here. By some other company whose name we never mentioned. Not by Jeep. Now, I like the snorkel system. As I reach for the latch on camera.
I'm like, Matson?
I've had a Jeep before.
Are you sure?
There it is.
Nice.
It's a pretty slick little snorkel system.
Come on, go this way.
Problem with the snorkel system, of course, for us is that it doesn't. Although, you know what? Look at the lines of that. Wouldn't that work with an ARS rack?
I think so.
It would be close. Yep, it may,
Yeah.
actually.
I mean, you a little bit of modification of brackets,
Right?
but you could do that. You could make that work with an ARS system,
I think so. Standby to standby.
right? Yeah, I'm talking off camera to Mike, who's holding the camera, who's the brand manager for ARS.
The boom operator today.
Yeah, boom. That's right. That's right. He's the. Oh, we got to walk over to this guy.
Yeah.
Of course, this is my favorite for one particular reason.
It's
Orange. Yes, yes, you know me well.
It's orange. It's pretty cool, actually. Especially the way they took the top off and put the vinyl over it. Inside, it's pretty cool.
Bob the bed, little Ego diesel motor. Like, there's been a lot of modifications to this thing. I bet it's a blast to drive. Dana 80 in the rear. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is fun. Although I kind of find it, you know, so you have this big hood scoop and it's an Ego diesel.
Yeah.
I wanted something more, you know.
It's actually a Dynatrack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are
Yeah.
Pro Rocks.
Yeah.
Nice.
Dynatrack Pro Rocks, Raceline wheels,
So you need this. This would pull this out when you go off.
right? I think that's like, I like that did that like 3D printed that
Yeah.
and just cut it in.
It'd be fun to clean them.
Right?
Can I get the plug?
That's awesome. That is just awesome. Being able to put a hard panel up here or change the color of your top, all of the color matching they do is just so, it's always so well done.
Did you see where they put the mirror?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Nice and clean. Which is funny because I know they sell a bracket for a mirror up here, don't they?
Those axles are pretty cool.
I wonder how
Missing
much
B-pillar?
shorter-
They have the
Right.
storage underneath the back seat.
Chris, do you know how much shorter this is?
Okay, so yeah, I do 12 inches.
12 inches
Yeah.
shorter.
Yep. So if you notice, Magneto's actually not here. Magneto 2.0, that's a fully electric vehicle, and they took 12 inches off of this one. That's what I call Bob, and they added it to Magneto. So
Oh, really?
It's actually stretched. So it's kind of like one of the old Unlimiteds, right, from the mid 2000s.
Wow.
And yeah, no weight or B-pillar.
This is
Yeah.
it's super clean. I
Yeah.
mean, when they make a serious modification like this, of course, coming from a manufacturer, as you would expect, it's going to look pretty amazing. And again, when they do the color matching stuff, all of the little details, that takes a lot of time.
Yeah. Yeah, they did some cool stuff. You got in the back, you got air compressor, dual air compressors, the ARB compressor.
Right.
Bed mounted in the middle here. And then you've got, and they're actually functional. We checked them the other day.
There you go.
Right
I
in here.
love this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bob Dot.
And so they call it Bob. We were calling it 20, 40, 60, 80 because it's got 20-inch wheels, 40-inch tires, 60 in the front, 80 in the back. We can afford while we're driving around out there, right?
That's cool. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Yeah, they did a good job on that. If they were to make this, because of course all the guys that are wanting to make a rock crawling gladiator, that overhang becomes kind of that argument, right? But for storage,
But then you lose your bed.
Right? You don't have as much storage, but this, I'll bet they would sell it if they made
If
it.
they made it, they would
they'd
sell it.
Yeah.
I like the top. Like this part, for some reason it makes me think like an old Javelin from the 70s, like fastback.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And
it's,
the repositioned mirrors, obviously they mirrors down on the door, so they reposition the mirrors. And yeah, they actually work pretty good, but they're perfect for mounting like GoPros.
Right.
A good surface.
Nice.
Right.
It's all about that creator world. That's a
And this
beautiful
one's
rig.
running the 3-liter diesel.
Got your beer.
Such a cool,
Oh,
such a
no,
cool
right.
build.
Yeah, but you know what they're missing here is they're missing the magnet underneath. It just
Yes.
catches the
Yeah.
See?
Huh. Pretty neat.
Pretty sexy.
Yep. So it actually felt really, really good on the trail.
Did it?
Yeah, not bad. Yeah.
So when you guys are driving around the concepts, they actually let you go wheel them, or are you just kind of driving around on some of the what trails do you go on?
So we're out. We come in. I come in about a week early. So we go out. We do photography for 2 or 3 days, videography, and then they have 2 waves for media. North American media comes out on Monday, and then the international media wave came out yesterday. So they set up. They have them on display. The executives will all they'll walk around and talk about all the details of the vehicle, like we're talking about, and then they have a course set up that you can run. And it's not like an extreme course, but it's got some articulation, some places where you need a locker, it's something where you definitely, like in the Grand Cherokee, they use the limited slip, the electronic limited slip they got in the back, so it's fun. It's not kicking the hammers, but it's good.
I know in the past, out there at Monitor, Merrimack, and that area along 7 Mile is always a really nice staging area. They bring some of the vehicles out and line them up, and good for pictures and that kind of stuff. But while it's not maybe a technical trail, there's still some stuff out there. So you're still taking rigs that just came straight out of the factory and running them out in the dirt and going up and down some ledges and things like that. So
and back in the day, I mean, we'd run them up. What is the obstacle over there by Merrimack? Wipeout Hill.
Yeah.
And if you go way back, to some of the beginning of the program, we could take them all out to the sand dunes.
Oh, right.
And let the media take them out. Big mistake.
Yeah.
Like those media guys.
Those media guys.
Are a bunch of knuckleheads. And they would it would just be, it was bad. They would launch them, especially like the cargo guys. Because they think they're driving a Ferrari, like, oh, it's horrible on acceleration and,
Right.
Well, those were also the days when they also had, they bring a body guy out from the factory and a paint guy and a detail crew, of course, obviously. But at night, the media turn all their cars in and it's like, back to the garage we go. We got to fix all this stuff, make them look good for tomorrow.
And so I'm not going to mention names, but I do remember what year it was. It was probably around 2008 or 9. And the head of Mopar at the time did one of these, hold my soda, watch this. And he launched it off the dune. He's just like, he kept running. He goes, I'm going to do one more. And he keep by. And Ken Brubeck, you guys all know him from 4-wheeler, right? Yeah. So he's on the other side on one knee shooting. And I'm shooting long, he's shooting wide. This Jeep cleared his head.
Oh boy.
And the landing was not pretty. It was It was like, everyone's like, oh yeah.
At least it was the man in charge, right?
That's right.
Lucky it was the boss. Yeah. Lucky it was the boss.
That's awesome.
So it's a super fun program, super fun group of people to work with. And we work our tails off.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And we get to do this.
I get to be around stuff like this for sure.
It's amazing. Oh, we did go right by this military 4xe
G41.
They did a good job on this too. Like again, it's all details.
That's really cool.
This is an example of I think this is one where you can do yourself pretty simply. I mean, it's a matter of color. Obviously the soft top is unique and custom made, but nothing really was dynamically done. It's just a 4xe that has a great look.
It's just a 4xe.
It's just a 4xe.
Right.
But I kind of find it funny. They do that. They try to do that whole paint job where it looks old and smeared.
I like how they did Ruby on the
Right.
Yeah, I love the top.
And the back windows.
Oh, it's so soft. That material is so soft. Like, oh my gosh.
Well, let's thank Chris for being a part of our podcast.
Guys, appreciate it.
And yeah, we've got 3 more days out here, full days. We'll try to get some other footage of some other vehicles throughout the week, and look at ModernJeeper.com, look at Metalcloak.com. We'll put up some stuff, ARS. It's been busy.
It has been. It has been. You know, and the great thing about Moab is it's just I don't care what time of year you come. It's a beautiful time to come.
For sure.
Out here. You could actually be coming out in Memorial Weekend.
That's right.
Great time to come.
Yeah, we've got our Modern Jeeper adventure coming up Memorial Day weekend. Still got about a handful of spots left. If you're interested, check out ModernJeeperadventures.com.
That's right.
And look for Chris's stuff. I mean, talk about a guy who covers some ground and shoots some amazing images.
Where can they find you?
I paid Corey to say that.
So where can they find you on the webs?
Where can they find me? You know what? Chris Collard. Just look up Chris Collard. I come up on Facebook and Instagram and that type of thing.
We'll put some links in the show notes.
Yeah, if you're out here,
including his home address.
Labor Day thing, man. It's like, do you still have snow in the LaSalle Mountains at that time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because you guys can't see it, but man, it's one of the most. It's definitely God's country right here. You got the red rock, you got the snow in the LaSalle's behind. It's just amazing.
Yes.
We're looking forward to a little bit warmer weather in the next couple of days, but yeah. Thanks guys for being a part of Modern Jeeper, and hope you're having a good day out there.
Yeah, so for all of us, to all of you.
Cheers for Moab, huh?
Yeah.
Cheers for Moab.
Cheers.
See ya.
Selfie.